Oh boy, we're already at week 5 of the 2024 NFL season. Let's go over my week 5 picks. But first, let's do a quick recap of week 4. I need to do these recaps a lot quicker. Entering into week 5, I was 35-29, but since this video is late and I'm showing that I have my pick for Thursday Night Football, I am now 36-29, but entering I am 35-29 before week 5. For week 4, I went 9-7. It was another very weird week. I did that a few weeks ago as well. Thursday Night Football, I chose the Cowboys to win, and they won in an ugly fashion against the Giants by 5 points. They shouldn't do that. They shouldn't be that close to losing against the Giants. Come on. Then I chose the Saints to beat the Falcons. That didn't work out. They lost by 2 points. Yeah, I'll talk more about that later. I chose the Steelers to beat the Colts. That didn't work out. Anthony Richardson got hurt, and Joe Flacco came back and became elite. Again. That's insane. Joe Flacco elite in 2024? What the hell is happening? Then, I chose the Rams to beat the Bears. They lost a pretty close game. I chose the Vikings to beat the Packers, and for the most part, they dominated them until the second half of the game, where the Packers were almost coming back. Then, I chose the Jets to beat the Broncos. They lost by 1 point in a very ugly, what my dad called a strong defensive game, but it was just because it was raining and no one knew how to play football that game. Then I chose the Bucks to beat the Eagles, and the Bucks took a belt to that ass. Then I chose the Bengals to beat the Panthers. I wanted to choose the Panthers, but a part of me said no, they're not going to do it. It was a close game. The Bengals got their first win of the season. Then I chose the Texans to beat the Jags. And what was a close game for some reason? The Jags shouldn't be that competitive. The Texans shouldn't be winning close games like this against a team like the Jags. But alas, they still came out with a win. Then I chose the Niners to beat the Patriots. And yeah, the Patriots are awful. I chose the Cardinals to beat the Commanders. And I knew at the last second I should have chose the Commanders because Jaden Daniels was looking really damn good. But I was just too damn lazy to go back and change it, I think. Yeah, Cardinals lost. Jaden Daniels looks incredible. Then I chose the Raiders to beat the Browns in what was a pretty boring game. We didn't have Devontae Adams or Max Crosby, but still, it was a very boring game, which I think we honestly should have lost. I didn't see that holding. Or I saw that there was a holding on the center for the Browns when Amari Cooper had that long touchdown run. The pass where he ran it in, but it didn't look like a hold to me. Honestly, we should have lost that game, but we won. Whatever. I chose the Chiefs to beat the Chargers, and they did in another very ugly game from the Chiefs, where Mahomes threw yet another interception. He's thrown an interception in every game this season so far, and they shouldn't be 4-0. They should honestly be 0-4. What the hell? Then I chose the Bills to beat the Ravens, and that was a mistake. The Ravens came out dominating. The Bills had no answers for that run game. I chose the Titans to beat the Dolphins, and I was correct, but it was a pretty boring game. Everyone just went to go watch the Seahawks and Lions. Also, the Dolphins are quite possibly the worst team in the NFL without Tua, so no one is allowed to say that Tua Tagovailoa sucks anymore. You can see how critical he is to that team. Then I chose the Seahawks to beat the Lions, and a gut instinct, just because the Seahawks never look super weak. Oh, wow. Jared Goff had his way with them. He was perfect. He went 18-18. He even caught a receiving touchdown. So, yeah. That's how my week 4 went. I went 9-7. It was a pretty entertaining week. I enter week 5 35-29, but because this video is late, I am, as of now, 36-29. Let's go over my picks for week 5 now. So I chose the Buccaneers to beat the Falcons, and here's why. I thought the Buccaneers offense looked much more impressive. That defense is a little iffy every now and then, but Baker Mayfield and his receivers, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, that connection's really damn good. Their run game isn't as strong as the Falcons' run game with Bijan Robinson. So I thought the ultimate deciding factor was going to be the defense, which the Falcons have a solid defense. But I honestly thought that Baker Mayfield was going to light up the game. Turns out it was Kirk Cousins who outperformed Baker. He threw for over 500 passing yards. They both had the same amount of touchdowns, I think, 3 touchdown passes. And what the hell were the Bucs doing on that final drive? You know the Falcons have 3 timeouts. You know that they're going to want to tie rather than miss an opportunity on going for a touchdown. So you just do 3 straight run plays. Come on, you got to get the ball downfield. And I know he did I think one of the plays was like a screen or something, but come on, you got to throw the ball down the field to hopefully try. If they're incomplete, whatever, you still have to punt the ball anyways. So, yeah, the Buccaneers lost to the Falcons 36-30 in overtime. Kirk Cousins threw a touchdown, like a 40-yard touchdown pass, maybe 50. I think it was 40 yards after the catch. And the Buccaneers couldn't tackle. They won the game. Kirk Cousins looks scary now. The Falcons are the first seed because they are 2-0 in division in the NFC South, which leaves it's the Falcons, then the Buccaneers, then the Saints, and the Panthers. So we'll see how the rest of the week plays out. But as of now, the Falcons are leading the NFC South. And because Kirk Cousins looks really good now, that's the Kirk Cousins that everyone expected to see. We're going to see if they can continue that throughout the season. I like seeing a good Kirk Cousins play. And he really impressed me in this game. Let's move on to the Sunday games. We got the Jets playing the Vikings. The Vikings will be the home team in the first London game of the 2024 NFL season. So, the Jets, that was kind of sad. You lost to Bo Nix and the Broncos. And I'm sorry, I hate hearing people say that the Broncos have a good defense. They've had a good they've had a good defense for like the past 5 years or something, but their offense has just been consistently shit. I mean, the Broncos, they have a good defense. I just don't think they have one of the best defenses in the NFL. You guys just play not good teams all the time, like that. But seriously, the Jets have too strong of an offense to not be able to put up more than 9 points. I know the kicker missed the kick at the end of the game to win the game for them. I know it was a rainy day, and it was just an ugly game. It was punting the game. I was so damn bored by it. I didn't want to watch it, but my dad wanted to watch it. He was like, "What? You don't like watching a strong defensive game?" I said, "No, this is punting. God damn it. I want to go back to the message I sent. The Punt Spectacular, I think it was. I said, "Hey, why don't we just watch Joe Flacco be elite instead of watching the Punting Spectacular?" I also told him that no one can say Tua sucks. I said, if y'all want to watch punts the game and not watch Elite Joe Flacco, then be my guest. It was just a boring game. On the other hand, the Vikings, they looked really impressive in the first half against the Packers. They almost let them come back, but still, I think the Vikings are the best team in the NFL right now. Everyone keeps putting the Chiefs and that stupid Pete Prisco, whatever the hell his name is, that Pete Prick guy on CBS keeps putting Chiefs at number 1. No, the Chiefs have way too many weak moments. The Vikings are the most dominant team in the NFL right now. They don't have a lot of those weak moments that the Chiefs have had. They've dominated these games. So I'm choosing the Vikings. Sam Darnold is the front runner for the MVP. He's lighting the league up. Aaron Rodgers, when that offense can get going, they look really good. But this past week against the Broncos, they didn't look very strong. And I know it was raining, but still. I'm still choosing the Vikings for this game. Sam Darnold revenge game. It's going to be very fun to watch. Then the rest of the Sunday games at 10 o'clock, we got the Panthers visiting the Bears. I'm going with the Panthers here. I'm in the 17% choosing the Panthers. And here's the sole reason why I think the Panthers will win. The Bears aren't fun to watch. Come on. Yeah, I know they have a solid defense, but Andy Dalton's a veteran. I think he's going to be able to tear apart that defense pretty well. If the Panthers really do have a solid O-line like that, then I think they're going to give him enough time, and he's going to tear this defense apart. Caleb Williams, he just doesn't look that good. He's looked better as the season went on, but nothing about it is super impressive, or nothing about it looks like he's the savior at the moment right now. I just don't have a whole lot to say on this game. I'm going with the Panthers. It's a gut feeling I have that the Panthers are going to win this game, even though I'm in the minority for this. Then we got an AFC North battle. The Ravens visiting the Bengals. The Bengals having the first win of the season against the Jags in a... No, not the Jags. Goddamn, who did the Bengals play last week? I feel stupid for having to go back to do this. Against the Panthers. That's right. The Bengals had their first win against the Panthers last week. In a kind of close game, the Ravens are back to 500, and they looked dominant against the Bills. That's the Ravens team that we want to see. That's the Ravens team that should have showed up in the AFC Championship last year. Derrick Henry is clicking. Lamar Jackson is clicking. That defense stopped Josh Allen, who was near unstoppable this whole season. And so I think the Ravens are going to take this game. I don't think it's going to be a contest. The Bengals defense isn't that strong. The Ravens, that offense is just way too damn good. And if they're able to stop Josh Allen and the Bills, then I think that they're going to be able to stop Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow. Damn, I keep forgetting his name for some reason. I'm choosing the Ravens. It's a pretty easy pick. Then we got what looks like to be the worst game of this week. The Miami Dolphins visiting the New England Patriots. I'm choosing the Patriots because they look less pathetic than the Dolphins. You got the Dolphins. They finally scored a touchdown after not having scored a touchdown after Tua went out, and then not in the Seahawks game. Tyler Huntley ran it in, I think. Tyler Huntley, people thought he was going to, be not the saving grace, but at least look competent in this game against the Titans. No, it didn't. He didn't. It looks bad. It's really bad. People want to throw Mike McDaniels on the hot seat. I don't think it's time yet because that offense was built and designed for Tua. So it's kind of hard for another quarterback to kind of fill in the blank right there, to fill in the spot. On the other hand, you got the Patriots, who look like one of the worst teams in the NFL. Jacoby Brissett, I liked him. It's just he's not doing anything right now. He's barely throwing for over 100 yards a game. The most yards he threw in a game was 160. Come on. You got to do better than that. And they looked abysmal against the Niners. But they're playing the Dolphins. Equally sad team. But the Dolphins can barely score a touchdown. It's going to be a very ugly, bad game. But I'm giving it to the Patriots. Next, we got a pretty interesting game. The Browns taking on the Commanders. Jaden Daniels has looked electric. He is the best rookie quarterback in the NFL right now. And from the most recent draft class, he looks incredible. And I'm very excited to see what he can do. And they're going to go up against a solid Browns defense. But the Browns offense is what's sad. Nothing is working on the Browns offense. They should have beat the Raiders, I think. And I think that would have been a good confidence booster going into this game. But nothing's clicking. Deshaun Watson had a few good plays, but he's not it. He was a bad decision for the Browns. They really fucked up kicking out Baker Mayfield. Just nothing is working out for that Browns offense. And Nick Chubb, I think he might come back for this game, but I don't think it's going to be enough to save him. That defense might be solid, but I think Jaden Daniels is going to tear them apart. Commanders are taking this game. Then we got the Colts visiting the Jaguars. I think Anthony Richardson might play, but regardless if it's Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco, I'm still taking the Colts. The Jags, nothing has been working out for them. They suck. Trevor Lawrence said it himself a few weeks ago, and I'm going to keep repeating that until they win a game. They suck. They haven't won a game since Thanksgiving last year. The Jags suck. Nothing's working out for them. I'm picking the Colts. Whether it's Anthony Richardson or Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco is back, and he's elite. Hopefully Joe Flacco can do what he did last year. Take a team to the playoffs. But this team seems more deserving than the Browns from last season. That's all I have to say. Then we got the Bills at the Texans. This is going to be possibly one of the best games of the week. I do have a game that I think is going to be the best game of the week later on down the line. But, yeah. CJ Stroud, what the hell, man? You got to do better than that. Wait, did they win last week? Yeah, they won last week, but it was a pretty ugly win against the Jaguars. It shouldn't be that close. I get it, it's a divisional match, but come on. I expect more from you. Of course, what am I saying? But they're playing the Bills. I think the Bills are a more solid team. They haven't had these close losses or these close wins. The Bills have seemed pretty dominant, except in this last game where they got a belt whooping from the Ravens. I just don't have a whole lot to say. I like Josh Allen more. Josh Allen needs to win this game. They need to be one of the dominant teams in the AFC to stop the Chiefs. And these are some of the two dominant teams in the AFC. But someone has to win. It's going to be the Bills. I don't have a whole lot to say on this. I'm sorry. Then we got what I think might be a very ugly game. The Raiders taking on the Broncos. The Raiders are in kind of a mess right now. Devontae Adams wants to trade. He wants to go play for Aaron Rodgers or Derek Carr or possibly the Saints. What the hell is going to happen with that? We don't know. But he didn't play this last game. He's most likely not going to play this game because he's dealing with a hamstring injury and they don't want him to be injured even more, so the trade value on him goes down. But hopefully Max Crosby comes back for this game so we can take on the Broncos coming off a win against the Jets. We are coming off a win as well. It was a very ugly win. It was a defensive game because the offenses just don't look good. Gardner Minshew, he can be solid, but we just need to do better on offense. We can't do all this cutesy stuff. Our run game sucks. Zamir White, I don't think he's the running back for the job. Madison, I think, is the other running back we have. He's another running back that starts with an M. His last name starts with an M. If it's not Madison, I'm sorry, I don't know what it is. I'm not going to look it up right now. But he has more explosive plays than Zamir White. He's the only thing keeping our running game at least somewhat alive with a pulse. But if our O-line can block better, we can get more passes down the field. We can have big plays. But without Adams, it's going to be much more difficult. Brock Bowers, he has to be this big change, being one of the best tight ends in the league, hopefully. On the other side of the Broncos, Bo Nix had an abysmal first half, -7 reception yards. What the fuck? But he picked it up in the second half, but he only ended up with like 60 yards passing. I get it. It was a rainy day. Everything was ugly. But I'm going with history on this. The Raiders own the Broncos' ass. They haven't lost to them in like the past 4 years or something like that. So I'm picking the Raiders. It's going to be an ugly win, I think. It's just going to be an ugly game in general. We're probably going to win by like a field goal or 2 points. Then we move on to the Cardinals at the Niners. Niners, come on. They're the more competent team. The Cardinals looked abysmal against the Commanders. I still like Kyler Murray, but in this NFC West divisional game, I don't think the Niners are going to go down without a fight. I know they're still banged up, but they can still get the job done. Niners. Then we got the Packers taking on the Rams. I'm going to choose the Packers because although the Rams are still a very competitive team, it's just because of all the injuries they're dealing with. I think the Packers are still a well more rounded team. Jordan Love came back. He didn't look all so hot until later on in the game, but I'm still going to choose the Packers. They just seem like the more well-functional team as of now. Then we got the Giants taking on the Seahawks. I couldn't have chosen a more easy pick than this. Seahawks. The Giants are abysmal. They have some good plays. I do like Jones and Neighbors. But, come on. You got to pick it up, man. You guys got to do better. The Giants are just sad outside of Neighbors and Jones on occasion. Seahawks, they're going to take this. They did lose last week. They did take their first loss last week. But the Seahawks are just the more well-rounded team. I still like Geno Smith. They're going to do it. Then we got what I think might be the most divisive game, the most hard game for me to choose. The Cowboys at the Steelers. I'm going with the Cowboys just because that offense is better. They have very similar defenses, I think. I like the Steelers' defense more, but it's got to be the offense. It's whoever has the better offense is going to do it. The Steelers suffered their first loss last week, but the Cowboys, it's that offense. They have the better quarterback. They have the better receivers. that has to be the ultimate deciding factor in this. Come on. Cowboys, just do me one favor and win this week. That's it. Then we got my most anticipated game of the week, Monday Night Football. Oh, I also forgot to mention the Cowboys game was Sunday Night Football. But Monday Night Football. And it's not a doubleheader, thank God, because they haven't been good doubleheaders so far. We got the Saints going to Arrowhead to take on the Chiefs. The Saints are on a 2-game losing streak right now. They lost to the Eagles in week 3, and they lost to the Falcons last week. I expected more from them after their very impressive start, destroying the Panthers and the Cowboys. The Chiefs, on the other hand, they don't look like the super team that they could be. Mahomes also took out Rashee Rice. He threw an interception, and in his anger, trying to tackle the defender who intercepted the ball, he accidentally blasted Rashee Rice's knees. He's out. I don't know for how long. I think they put him on the IR. So, who do the Chiefs have? Xavier Worthy? Kelsey still? Even though Kelsey hasn't been as dominant as he usually is. But I think the Chiefs' defense is going to be the deciding factor in this game. If they can stop Alvin Kamara and the run, then I think that they're going to do enough to stop Derek Carr. But on the other hand, I think the Saints' offense is going to improve this week. I'm hoping that O-line is improved this week, because if you give Derek Carr enough time, he's going to launch it down the field. But you got to stop Chris Jones. So I'm thinking that Alvin Kamara could be a good blocker in the backfield and provide a little more time so Derek Carr can sling it to Rashid and Olave and maybe Moreau. I'm picking the Saints with this because I'm a Derek Carr supporter, and the Chiefs, they don't look like the super team. All their games have been close. They were a toe away from losing against the Ravens. The defense couldn't save Joe Burrow on that game. Then week 3 against, who the hell did they play in week 3? Can't remember. Then the Chargers in this last week. It was a stupidly close game. Someone's got to stop this nonsense of the Chiefs. Come on. And it's got to be Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara. They've got to stop this. Please. I'm begging you, Derek Carr and Alvin Kamara. You guys have got to stop this. Also, someone has to pick off Patrick Mahomes. He's thrown a pick in every single game this season. I think it's very funny. So, please. Also, Brandon Perna's a YouTuber that I watch. His curse wheel landed on the Chiefs. So it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Saints are gonna win. I'm a very optimistic person right now about this. So those are my week 5 picks. Let's see. I'm hoping that I'm not gonna be wrong on a single one, because I'm very confident in all of these picks. Oh fuck! I already forgot. I forgot the Bucks lost already. God damn it. Okay, I'm gonna go. Wait, how many games are this week? Because there are teams on a bye. We got the Eagles on a bye. We got the Titans on a bye. We got the Lions and the Chargers on a bye. So instead of 16 games, that leaves us with 14 games. So I'm gonna go 13-1. Let's go, boys. 13-1 this week. Let's go. All right. So those are my picks for Week 5 of the NFL, the 2024 season. Tell me what you thought about my picks in the comments below. Yada yada, do all that fun jazz, and I'll be back with more enjoyable content like this. So bye.